The dude sealed himself in a bathtub with cement. The landlord thought he didn't want to pay the rent, so he called 911. But the dude wasn't scared at all. Instead, he threw a tantrum.
Get out! I need to be here!
How arrogant. The firefighters checked and found the cement was squeezing the man's lower body, restricting blood flow. If they didn't administer in force soon, he would die.
Get that away from me!
The dude not only refused treatment, but also kept saying he couldn't leave because Captain America would come to get him. Is the dude crazy? At this moment, Otis walked in with a headlamp. The dude looked at him as if he had seen a god.
You're here.
The clever firefighters, seeing this, put on helmets and pretended to be Captain America to carry out the rescue. After administering the four and digging the cement, the dude was finally pulled out. Man's leg was trapped under 100 tons of cargo.
Doesn't hurt as much as you think.
After saying that, the man passed out. Firefighters tied his leg up, then brought in an airbag and some wood to support the cargo. But just as they were about to inflate the airbag, an EMT said that if they lifted the cargo now, the blood flow back to the heart could stop the man's heart. To save him, they'd have to amputate his leg. So, the firefighters called in a surgeon. After disinfecting the area, the doctor pulled out a chainsaw from Texas. The man lost one leg, but now he can play Captain Jack. Not sure if that counts as finding good luck in a bad situation. The man was pinned tightly by the garage door. When the firefighters approached, they realized they'd been tricked. It was a dummy, a Halloween prank. The firefighters exchanged a look of exasperation. At that moment, a woman ran over seeking help, saying her child was sick.
She's thrown up everything in her stomach and now she's just lying there.
The firefighters checked the girl's pupils and immediately sensed something was wrong. They quickly asked the mother if the girl had eaten anything unusual. The mother insisted it must be her husband, letting her eat too much candy. But the firefighter said,
Pupils are dilated like saucers. This isn't a stomach ache. She's high out of her mind.
The man realized something was seriously wrong and went to check his stash. Finding half of it had been eaten by his daughter, the girl began to have convulsions. The firefighter quickly administered an injection and rushed her to the hospital. Do you know what was his stash? A man's hand got stuck in the gym equipment. His hand was squished like the meat in a sandwich. It was covered in ketchup. The firefighters lifted the weight plates. Then they took out Jason's chainsaw. They started cutting the steel pipe. After an hour, the steel pipe was finally cut, but the man's hand now had a hole in it. To help him better, the firefighters took him and the pipe to the hospital together. Do you like working out at home or at the gym? A man was hanging upside down from a garage door when a female firefighter arrived. He said he only wanted help from a male firefighter, but his arm was about to come off. The female firefighter quickly grabbed his leg to take some weight off. She saw a ladder in the corner and rushed to get it. She set up the ladder. One woman lifted the garage door. Another woman climbed the ladder. Using the power of 10 tons, she lifted the door and pulled the man's arm free. After being rescued, the man apologized for his bias. Do you have any female firefighter friends? Just moments ago, there was an accident in the shopping mall elevator. Firefighters climbed for 2 hours to reach the top of the elevator. They found a hot girl's hair stuck in the elevator. She was in great pain. Upon inspection, firefighters discovered half of her scalp had been torn off. While they were figuring out how to help, the elevator suddenly started moving again. The firefighters quickly pressed the emergency stop button. They continuously comforted the woman. Then, they used ancestral scissors to cut off her hair. But the girl was very upset about losing her hair. Isn't surviving the most important thing in such a situation? Man put his hand in the woman's mouth, pulled out a bunch of cement. He took out 10 tons of cement, but the woman still didn't wake up. 10 minutes ago, a concrete truck flipped over. The woman was buried in the cement, almost turning into cement herself. The two used their strength to pull the woman out of the cement, just as they use it to suck milk. But she wasn't breathing. Paramedics took out a suction machine and put a 10-meter-long tube into her mouth. After the cement was removed, the woman finally woke up. I'm really curious what cement tastes like. Have you ever eaten cement? The firefighter found something strange on the ground. It was the girl's nose. The medic quickly gave her a basic bandage. The girl said she was attacked by a drone.
I heard this buzzing noise, like a swarm of bees heading straight for me.
They reassured her, saying they could reattach her nose since they found it. But the bad boy wasn't done yet and secretly restarted the drone.
Hey! My see you, Wesley!
The firefighter took a stick and smashed the drone down.
Playtime is over!
To prevent any more injuries, they decided to take special action. What would you do if you encountered such bad kids? A plane unexpectedly crashed onto the highway. The firefighter opened the cockpit door and found a man with white hair. Politely, they asked him how old he was.
85 and don't blame this on my age.
The old man complained. The FAA had given the wrong coordinates, causing him to miss the correct runway. But when he saw the aftermath of his mistake, he regretted it. A man was killed instantly by the shattered wing, while his wife was heartbroken beside him. On the other side, another man was thrown directly onto a woman's windowsill. When the firefighters turned the man over, they found his intestines exposed. They could only perform emergency first aid on the spot. An accident with 2 dead and 1 injured. Was it the old man's fault or the FAA's fault?
Help me, please help me! Somebody hurry, help me, please!
The ground just collapsed, and the unlucky male lady fell right in. Rocks kept falling down. The woman was having difficulty breathing. A firefighter comforted her, while telling others to find more wooden boards. Desperate to save her, they had no choice but to cut the railing in front of her house. The woman, though speechless, after waiting 365 days, the device was finally set up.
I can't breathe!
The firefighter calmly put an oxygen mask on the woman and began digging the soil around her, gradually pulling her up. The woman was successfully rescued. Firefighters were preparing to rescue the woman. Unexpectedly, the husky started barking furiously at them. The firefighters tried to calm it down, but the dog, in a fit of rage, charged at them, ready to bite. The firefighters had no choice but to escape into the bathroom. The woman intended to call for additional help, but the man realized there was no time. The woman's life was hanging by a thread. There was no time to lose. He took a small biscuit out of his bag and injected it with an unknown liquid.
Here goes.
The dog outside saw the food and happily took it away. The woman was successfully rescued, but the dog died. Do you think the firefighters did the right thing? Poor boy was stuffed down the Cowl vent by his drunken friends.
Hey, you gotta help me, I'm slipping! Don't let me go, please!
The manager told the firefighters the pipe leads straight down to the engines, which means if the boy slips, he would be cut in pieces by the engines. But the boy can't help moving due to freaking out.
Hey, stop moving!
The firefighters had to take an action as soon as possible. The black firefighter suggested to cut him out, but the captain was afraid of hurting the boy. He was not convinced until he got his reliable team member's promise. 666 minutes later, the pipe was cut open with a small opening. Everyone worked together to lift the pipe. The poor boy was rescued, but his first word was,
Oh man, I need a drink.